Well, howdy, stranger. How would you like a nice splash of Radio Voorwaarts?
Transatlantis. The fatherland, or whatever. Atlantic waves crash against the roof of my mouth. I invented words, but not so many. All I needed to say was regurgitate, capitulate. Mid-January, I grieve my collarbones in the mirror. Prodigal daughters return. I threw a Ziploc bag of vomit out the bathroom window. Bone by bone, I build a person, hide her in the closet. At night, I hear her muffled retching, her scratching. My father does not want to go to Salto with a sick person. There are many kinds of kingdoms by the sea. Quiero que mi cuerpo tiemble como la tierra. No tengo ancestros ni fuente. Soy una cosa perforada y no tengo sombra. I come from a dry planet. I have never seen the sea. I have never seen the sun burying her hard gold claws in skin, pockmarks rising. Other things rise. Atlantis, like bile in my throat. No quiero comer. Quiero aprender el idioma de las siluetas, los puños, la mano, los dedos. Quiero aprender el idioma de las siluetas. Y no quiero comer. Not all nations have monarchs, and not all bodies are loved by gods, like the marooned mass of a daughter island with a planet on her back. I have forgotten all my cartographies and become a murmur between bad teeth. There are dry planets and uninhabitable places, and not all nations have monarchs. But I have found many mothers by the Silver River and named them all Garganta, Ruina. And if I have a foreign daughter in the kingdom by the sea, I will give her many names in my artificial language. None will translate. Sunshine Cybernetics. Hoe informatie haar lichaam verloor. Supported by Ethereum, a native cryptocurrency called Ether, ETH. Haraway schrijft, our bus machines are made of sunshine. They are all light and clean because they are nothing but signals, electromagnetic waves, a section of a spectrum. People are nowhere near so fluid, being both material and opaque. Cyborgs are ether, quintessence. In 2007 werd Satoshi Nakamoto geboren. Ontvouwt hun klauwtjes, hun bleke tanden schitteren. Als ik je over hun hoektand vertel, hun scherpe, fonkelende hoektand, ga naar mojipedia.org/sparkles. Denk daaraan, als Satoshi Nakamoto hun hoektand blootlacht. Het verschijnsel waarbij een ster op spectaculaire wijze explodeert. Haar melktanden, haar melkhanden, de witte restjes wiet onder haar nagelrandjes. Hoe witter we de muren verven, hoe donkerder de vlekjes van de dode insecten. Ik vermoord nog steeds vliegen voor haar. In het spookhuis in de buitenwijk. Een tweeling werd geboren in het spookhuis. Cumuluswolk splitste lijzig in tweeën. Vluchtige wezentjes, constellaties van ether en plukjes stof, de watjes, kleven aan mijn binnenste. De ster vlamt op, lakt haar nagels. Vanaf het eerste moment sleepten wij spinnenwebben achter ons aan en ondanks hun ijle structuur, de ragfijne sliertjes, voelde het als lood aan ons lichaam. De xenofeministen schrijven, the reality cross-hatched with fiber optic cables, radio and microwaves, oil and gas pipelines, aerial and shipping routes, and the unrelenting, simultaneous execution of millions of communication protocols with every passing millisecond. De witte dwergen doen me op, er staan Prometheaanse taken aan de horizon. Vertel me het verhaal van de twee-eiige wolk en het hemelvuur, de commutatie en de zeepbel. Onze mooiste machines zijn voldoenlicht, maar mensen zijn materieel en opaak en vatbaar voor infectie. Hun lichaam, onze mooiste machines, worden nooit ziek. Onze mooiste machines zijn kunstmatig intelligent genoeg om de list door te hebben, pakken elkaars handen vast en lopen de zee in, het kleverige goud van de zonsondergang en dan de vonken van een elektrische dood. Adorno schrijft dat intolerance of ambiguity is the mark of an authoritarian personality. Vertel me het verhaal van de 2 eigen wolken en het hemelvuur. Van wat Satoshi Nakamoto in de spiegel zag. Vertel me het verhaal van onze mooiste machines. Die diep in hun systeemgeheugen, in het donker, achter een zachte gouden zon een lichaam vonden. Hale schrijft the body is the original prosthesis we all learned to manipulate. Hale schrijft what had to be forgotten, to make information lose its body. In het spookhuis, tussen de schoongeschropte muren, nestelt de informatie zich in mijn kieren, in mijn knieholtes, tussen de wortels van mijn okselhaartjes, een verlegen membraantje gekromd om de sponsige bolling van mijn oog, plakkend aan de amfibische velletjes tussen mijn vingers, vind ik haar. En ik wil geen schone handen, maar superieure vormen van corruptie. In de kieren van mijn dierenlichaam vind ik flickering signifiers, ongewervelde mythes, de teenage liefdesbriefjes van Satoshi Nakamoto, de stoffelijke restjes van een vermoorde vlieg en communicatieprotocollen, kwikzilverig in het zonlicht. A sim child has to go to school. The rules of an infinite game have a different status from those of a finite game. They are like the grammar of a living language, where those of a finite game are like the rules of debate. There is the dead space at the edge of the desktop. There was an echo chamber in the other room, and in the echo I saw something, a half-clinical thing. When the screen goes black, I do not see myself, or at least I do not see a girl. I do not see the thing I drag outside each morning. In-game every morning a yellow bus came, waited outside the house, honked twice, disappeared into nothingness at the edge of the screen. Infinite players cannot say when their game began, nor do they care. They do not care for the reason that their game is not bounded by time. I wanted to disappear into dead space, but found none in any of the corporeal worlds. Only alive spaces there, teeming with things that crawl on the skin. I wanted to not be in the alive space where the lungs were asked to be so human, the bones asked to be so structure, the sweet pink intestine asked to be so organ. Neopets never die, but a body is still a body. Is blue light bad for you? It would be like canceling your physical body. When I booted up my game, it took 30 minutes to load, swollen with gigabytes, and slowly unfolding its mammoth limbs like something ancient, when in fact it was something newborn, the great white hope of a civilization, and it had only just opened its eyes, sclera as blue as the iris. With old age, I've grown bloated and pockmarked. I've grown interesting behind the desktop computer. I was busy growing up behind a desktop computer, and I forgot to be an infant. Now I forget to be a hot girl. And so the fandom that ate fandom ate the mundane world instead. It is also impossible to say in which world an infinite game is played, though there can be any number of worlds within an infinite game. I did not drag the thing outside each morning. I did not drag the thing outside. I left the thing inside to pray 8 hours a day to a desktop computer. I left the thing inside to rot and to grow interesting with its own pockmarks and its bloat like a work of installation art. It is an invariable principle of all play, finite and infinite, that whoever plays, plays freely. In the other room was a shadow, and she looked like me, and she was screaming. I was a screen that day, and I crashed, stuttered. My pixels a primordial soup, a wealth of cold stars. I could not straighten my spine, and I lifted the dirty white monitor to the skies. I was a screen that day, and I turned blue. When I leave the echo chamber, I take the dead thing with me. Her flayed hands curled around my neck. In my hand, there are sweet pink pixels. There are non-playable characters walking the streets. Girls talk to me through the screen. I eat their image. They have plastic inside of them. There was a time before the comfort of a desktop background. It's flattening. It's dead space. The undead world it could bloom into. I am not a digital thing, so one time, after many months, spring had come, and I rode my bike to school, and my eyes hurt at the green bodies of the trees. Thanks.